Mike Dunleavy finally did it. The Warriors finally make a big move. Breaking news, Golden State has finalized a trade for Dennis Schröder, point guard from the Brooklyn Nets, sending away De'Anthony Melton and 3 second-round picks in the deal for Golden State to be able to add that scoring punch that they've desperately craved this entire season. And since De'Anthony Melton has gone away for the entire season with an ACL injury. You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith, and this is why you subscribe to the channel. This is my off day. It's Saturday. I'm coming at you from my bedroom right now. I was about to go watch my college basketball team play their Saturday matinee game, but I had to bring you guys this breaking news on Warriors Today. So make sure you hit that sub button. We're on the road to 71,000 subscribers, and let's get into the rest of today's video. So trading for Dennis Schröder, right? I mean, this is a guy who is having pretty much a career year for the Brooklyn Nets on a one-year rental deal, and he is averaging like 16 and a half points a game. He's averaging 6 assists. The guy is shooting 38% from three-point range. So this is somebody who can bring a dynamic skill set to a Warriors team that really not only needs that scoring punch, but also somebody who can facilitate and let Stephen Curry work off of the ball and kind of be that primary facilitator that De'Anthony Melton was kind of stepping into, right? That role where Steve Kerr trusted him to bring the ball up the floor so Steph could work off and roll off of screens to get open looks. This is kind of going to be Dennis Schröder's role in this Warriors team now. Will he start? I doubt it. I think he'll be coming off the bench for the most part. But man, this is a guy who can work out of the mid-range as well. He has that floater game. He can attack the rim from time to time. Is he the best on defense? Now, I'm not going to say he's an all-world first-team point of attack defender, but he can earn his keep on that, and he can be a solid team defender for a Golden State team that is above average on that end. So I love the pickup of Dennis Schröder. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. A, B, C, D, or F. Grade the trade. Dennis Schröder for De'Anthony Melton and 3 second-round picks. Those picks have yet to be decided. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Now, how does he fit into this Warriors team, right? I kind of mentioned how his role is going to be this facilitator, scoring punch off the bench kind of guy. But what does this mean for other players on this roster, like a Brandon Pajemski, somebody who they quote-unquote trust heavily? And Steve Kerr most recently said, we trust him with the ball in his hands at the end of games. Is that going to be Schroder sliding into that role now? Who knows? But this is a great deal for Golden State. In my opinion, I would give it an A because you get a guy in Dennis Schröder who's on a one-year rental deal. His money comes off the books if it doesn't work out after the end of this season. And what you gave away was just 3 second-round picks. And I'm going to give it an A and hold off on an A+ because I wanted maybe 1 or 2 more of the Brooklyn Nets players that were being dangled in all these trade talks coming over to Golden State as well. Cam Johnson was obviously my number 1 trade target for Golden State, but this is one of those scenarios where they kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone. They needed to replace De'Anthony Melton in some capacity, and with his contract expiring at the end of this season, he was only on that 1-year mid-level exception deal. This is a win-win for both sides. Nets are trying to get worse, Warriors are trying to get back better, and you send away some draft assets in the process. I really like this move for Golden State, but on the flip side, can this be the only move, right? That's kind of where I'm at with this. And, I don't know if Mike Dunleavy's done or wants to be done. I would highly doubt the latter, right? I don't think that this front office is making this move as a singular thing. If they are, then you got better, but it's more lateral move than anything. I don't think Dennis Schröder makes this team a championship run team if in comparison to when this team wasn't, if he's not on the team. Dennis Schröder does not move the needle enough to really make Golden State a contender in the Western Conference. Does he give them a couple more boosted outings during the regular season, get you a couple more wins? For sure, no doubt about it. He's a great player, but at the end of the day, he's not a superstar. He does fill the scoring punch lack that Golden State had at this point, and especially with the injuries that they have when Andrew Wiggins is missing games, Steph's missing games from time to time, Draymond missed a game a couple ago, and this Golden State team never seems to be 100% healthy, and they're never in a situation where all their weapons are in front of them at their disposal. So you need a guy like Dennis Schröder who's been healthy for the most part. A guy who doesn't get injured very often. Somebody who's reliable and is going to give you consistent performances on a night-to-night basis. So I love the pickup of Dennis Schröder, but man, I don't think this could be the only move left for Golden State. We're going to talk about that on the back half of today's show. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor, and that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform. And take it from me, I was a Prize Picks customer far before they were even a sponsor here at Chat Sports. And I'll tell you why. Because it's so easy to win real money in real time. They're always trying to hook you up with incredible deals to make it that much easier to win that money while watching your favorite sports. Think about it like this. You can now win up to 200 times your money playing on Prize Picks. And during this holiday season, they're running a promo called Picksmas, where they're giving away 2 free picks every week in December. Like this week, where they have Patrick Mahomes more than half a passing yard. If you're watching my videos earlier this week, you saw that we had to get that involved. And my other 2 legs in the NBA, they hit that night. So we're just waiting on Patrick Mahomes to throw for 1 passing yard this weekend, and we're gonna be swimming in the green on Prize Picks. You can take my picks, you can fade my picks. If you haven't seen, I also have season-long basketball projections for Stephen Curry points, Zach Ariza Shea points, and SGA points. We're closely following that right now. It doesn't look too bad, but we got to make some progress on pretty much 2 out of the 3 entries on that one. Tail me, fade me, just do it at Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and get $50 for free when you place your first $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. Again, download the app, create an account, use promo code CLNS, $50 for free when you place your first $5 entry. What time is it? It is time for Prize Picks. Run your game. All right, so the back half of the show, I kind of wanted to talk about the near future for Golden State, right? You add Dennis Schröder, you add a guy who's going to be a great facilitator for this team, somebody who's going to be able to score at multiple levels, and more so be able to score at multiple levels, to be able to create his own shot. That was kind of what Golden State was lacking for the most part, right? I mean, Andrew Wiggins, yeah, he's a good enough shot creator, but man, is he the most shifty individual? Is he the best at creating space away from defenders? No, you're going to need somebody who's more like a Dennis Schröder, who is somebody who is a smaller guard and has the quickness and ability to be able to shed defenders off in space, right? Andrew Wiggins, he's a phenomenal shooter at this point, shooting 40% from 3-point range. But is he doing a ton of it off the bounce? Not really. A lot of it's off of the catch. Golden State needed another dynamic playmaker like Dennis Schröder. But can he be the only pickup for Golden State? Of course not. I've mentioned it before, and I'll say it again. This team is still incomplete. This team still is very thin in the front court. And in my opinion, they could use another wing to be able to have that versatility for Andrew Wiggins and, say, the guy like Cam Johnson, who I've been championing this entire time for Golden State to trade for, to be able to switch on defense and just give this Golden State a little bit of a bigger feel than they normally have out there on the court. I mean, Golden State has been running Draymond at the 5, Jonathan Kuminga at the 4, and both of those guys are undersized for those positions. Draymond obviously plays much bigger than he is. I'd argue a little bit of the same for Kuminga, but this team still lacks this team still has holes at multiple spots on its roster. Pretty fine in the guard department now. You kind of got your replacement for De'Anthony Melton, but I said it over the summer. Golden State's got a hole on the wing. Should have probably traded for Lauri Markkanen or Paul George. And what's fascinating to me is that in a deal that could have swung over Cam Johnson and Dennis Schröder, Golden State would have had to give up Jonathan Kuminga. Apparently, Joe Lacob, according to reports, has an affinity, quote unquote, affinity for Jonathan Kuminga, not willing to trade him away. Which is funny to me because they weren't willing to meet him on contract demands over the summer. If you like him that much, why didn't you pay him? Regardless, I do think that Golden State has to go out there and make another deal. And who is the one blue chipper that Golden State can trade away now in a deal? Think about it. They gave away $12.8 million of De'Anthony Melton's salary here. Jonathan Kuminga doesn't make $12.8 million. So there's other contracts that you're going to have to lump in now. But who's going to be, trading for those kinds of contracts, right? Are you going to get somebody from the Wizards and just go send them a bunch of expirings? Maybe they do make a deal for a guy like Jonas Valanciunas. But in my opinion, if Golden State wants to be as close as possible to being a true, legit contender in the Western Conference, you got to give up a guy like Kuminga. You got to give up a guy like Brandon Podziemski, because those are the young talent on this roster that people actually hold some value to. And you can call me a hater. You can call me, a non-believer in Kuminga and Podziemski. I don't know. I just don't think those two necessarily fit on this Warriors team and with their scheme. None of it. I don't think Jonathan Kuminga is going to be an all-star with Golden State down the line. Do I think he could be a high-volume, high-energy scorer on a really bad basketball team? Yeah, if you sent him over to the Brooklyn Nets, I think he would put up great numbers. But that's not the way that he can be as most productive is not the way that Golden State is most productive. So in my opinion, I think he's one of those guys where you kind of just have to cut your losses on, in a sense. I don't think he was somebody who is a net negative to this roster. I mean, he had a great game against Houston a couple nights ago. He led the team in scoring, and against Houston the last time out, he had a career night, 33 points and on great efficiency. But I just don't think he necessarily fits too much in this lineup, and he's the blue chip player on this team that Golden State could go out there and package to get a probably a better superstar. Maybe not a superstar, but like, somebody who gets you closer and moves the needle a little bit more than a guy like Dennis Schröder. Dennis Schroeder's great. It was an awesome pickup. Again, let me know what you guys think of the trade. Grade it down in the comments for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Dennis Schröder for De'Anthony Melton and 3 second-round picks. None of those picks have been announced yet. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. Nothing specific, but you're kind of just splitting hairs when you're talking about which second-round picks you're actually going to be sending away. So let me know down in the comments. Grade the trade A, B, C, D, or F, and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're on the road to 71,000 subscribers. When Golden State Warriors news goes down, we bring it to you right here on the channel. For daily Golden State Warriors news, rumors, mailbags, doesn't matter. Live shows we're doing with a little bit more consistency right now, and we could do more if you guys hit that red sub button. We'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go Dubs.